Doordarshan welcomes you to the valedictory function of 101st Indian Science Congress, which is being held at the University of Jammu, Jammu. We are having the guest dignitaries, Shri Muhammad Hamid Ansari, the Honorable Vice President of India, who is going to be the chief guest of today's function. He is flanked by the Governor of Jammu and Kashmir State, Shri N.N. Vohraji, who is presiding over the function. We have Janab Umar Abdullah, the Honorable Chief Minister of Jammu and Kashmir State, who is the guest of honor of today's function. Dr. Farooq Abdullah, Shri N.N. Vohraji, Shri Hamid Ansari Sahab, Janab Umar Abdullah, Vice Chancellor Jammu University, Professor M.P.S. Ishar, Professor Arun Kumar, and other dignitaries are attending the function. I may apprise the audience that the Science Congress first session started here in the University of Jammu on 3rd of February 2014. During the function, we had a number of associated sessions, including the Children's Science Congress, Women's Science Congress. We had Indian National Science Congress communicators meet. There was a great communicators meet.
Honorable Vice President of India, to the valedictory function of the 101st Indian Science Congress. Sir, thank you so much for sparing your valuable time to grace the occasion. We welcome Shri N.N. Vohra, Honorable Governor of Jammu and Kashmir and Chancellor of the University of Jammu, Janab Umar Abdullah, Honorable Chief Minister of Jammu and Kashmir State and Pro-Chancellor of the University of Jammu, Dr. Farooq Abdullah, Honorable Union Minister for New and Renewable Energy, Professor Manmohan Singh, Vice Chancellor of the University of Jammu, Dr. R.C. Sobti, Dr. S.P. Nimse, Engineer N.B. Basu, Dr. Arun Kumar, Professor Naresh Padam. A very warm welcome to the respected academicians, scientists, policymakers, researchers, delegates from different parts of the country and abroad, respected dignitaries from the state of Jammu and Kashmir, prominent citizens, ladies and gentlemen. We welcome all of you to the valedictory function of the 101st Indian Science Congress hosted by the University of Jammu. May I request Professor Manmohan Singh, Vice Chancellor, University of Jammu, to formally welcome the guests.
Janab Hamid Ansari Sahib, Honorable Vice President of India, Shri N.N. Vohra Sahib, Honorable Governor of Jammu and Kashmir and Chancellor, University of Jammu, Janab Umar Abdullah Sahib, Honorable Chief Minister of Jammu and Kashmir and Pro-Chancellor, University of Jammu, Dr. Farooq Abdullah Sahib, Honorable Union Minister for New and Renewable Energy, Professor R.C. Sobti, General President, Indian Science Congress Association, Dr. S.B. Nimse, Professor Arun Kumar, Dr. N.B. Basu, local secretaries of 101st Indian Science Congress, esteemed council members of ISCA, chairpersons of various technical sessions, fellow scientists, representatives of civil society, administration, and security forces, delegates, media persons, students, ladies and gentlemen, a very good afternoon to all of you. It's a matter of great honor and pleasure to welcome this august assemblage of distinguished personalities and eminent scientists on the valedictory function of 101st Indian Science Congress, which started on 3rd of February and is successfully culminating today. On behalf of the University of Jammu and Indian Science Congress Association, I extend hearty welcome to today's chief guest, Janab Hamid Ansari, Honorable Vice President of India. It's a proud moment for the University of Jammu to have such a distinguished personality as chief guest on this grand occasion. Sir, I thank you for sparing some of your precious time for this event. Your esteemed presence has added glitter to the event. Sir, your inspirational participation will always be fondly remembered by the university and this gathering of young and budding scientists who are looking forward to listen to your words of wisdom. It gives me immense pleasure to extend a hearty welcome to Shri Anand Vora, Honorable Governor of Jammu and Kashmir and Chancellor of University of Jammu, who is the main guiding force behind the organization of this mega event. His total involvement, right from the idea of holding 101st Indian Science Congress session by University of Jammu to the final stage, resulted in the successful culmination of this mega event. Sir, you are the strongest pillar of support for us at every step and at every moment. I welcome you, sir. It's my proud privilege to welcome Janab Omar Abdullah Sahib, Honorable Chief Minister of Jammu and Kashmir and Pro-Chancellor of University of Jammu, whose fathomless patronage and constant support made us to accomplish holding of this great event. Sir, I welcome you, and we owe you the great sense of achievement which we have today. I wholeheartedly welcome Janab Dr. Farooq Abdullah, Honorable Union Minister for New and Renewable Energy, who has played a major role in bringing this 101st Indian Science Congress to the University of Jammu and has been a source of constant support to the university. I welcome you, sir. I extend warm welcome to General President ISCA, Professor R.C. Sobti, and Dr. R.B. Nimse, the General President-elect. Warm welcome to ISCA Secretaries, Professor Arun Kumar and Dr. N.B. Basu. I warmly welcome Honorable Ministers, Members of Parliament, Members of Legislative Assembly and Legislative Council. A warm welcome to Shri Janab Iqbal Khande, Chief Secretary, Shri B.R. Sharma, Commissioner Secretary Planning, Shri B.B. Vyas, Principal Secretary to Honorable Chief Minister, and Shri Naveen Chaudhary, Principal Secretary to Honorable Governor. I especially welcome Professor R.P. Bamba for gracing this occasion. It's my proud privilege to welcome all the Vice Chancellors, heads of various research organization institutions, distinguished presidents of various science academies, and venerable scholars who are with us for the cause of science and ultimately for the society. A very warm welcome to electronic and print media. I extend a warm welcome to fellow scientists, delegates, accompanying person, representatives of civil society, civil administration, and of security forces. I welcome faculty members, university officers, employees, research scholars, students, and volunteers to the valedictory function of this mega event. It gives me a sense of great satisfaction when I look back at the activities of the last 4 days of this Congress. It provided a unique opportunity to the academicians and scientists to interact with each other and with leading scientific luminaries, including Nobel Laureates. Various scientific and innovative exhibitions have provided the much desired exposure to students, scholars, and common men. The young minds must have been profoundly illuminated and inspired by the lectures of Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, Honorable former President of India, whose very presence ignites the young minds with enthusiasm and commitment. Such interactions definitely stir the creative minds, and new ideas are generated which need further exploration and experimentation to be tested on the anvil of time. The ultimate challenge is to translate, develop, disseminate, and harness the knowledge thus generated. I hope all those who have attended the 101st Indian Science Congress will leave the University of Jammu with fond memories. We tried our best to provide the best possible facilities. Still, there might have been occasions when we may not have come up to your expectations. Also, inadvertently, if anything has gone wrong at our end, which may have caused discomfort to anyone, we request you to accept our apologies for the same. The University of Jammu will always cherish the memories of your presence on the campus for years to come. I once again welcome one and all to this valedictory function. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. May I now request Dr. R.C. Sokti, General President of the 101st Indian Science Congress 2014, to deliver his address, please.
As the General President of Indian Science Congress Association, 101st session, it's my great honor to welcome our respected Honorable His Excellency Vice President of India, Shri Hamid Ansari ji, under the guidance of whom I had an opportunity to work where he's a Chancellor of Punjab University as a Vice Chancellor from the 2006 to 2012. And it's under his guidance, advice, that the university, which was amongst first 30, came to number 1 in the country and amongst 250 universities of the world. Sir, it was your guidance which worked for this purpose, and the same is being applied at Baba Saheb Ambedkar University. It's going a long way in taking the Baba Saheb Ambedkar University Lucknow ahead. Sir, I'm extremely obliged to you for sparing time for the Science Congress valedictory function, because this shows your love for education as well as and science in particular. I welcome Honorable Governor of Jammu and Kashmir, His Excellency, Shri N.N. Vora ji. In fact, he has been main guiding soul behind this function. Right from the day one, he had been helping us in all way, whether it's a financial or any other thing, and making program, he had been helping us. Sir, I welcome you, sir. Honorable Chief Minister Jammu and Kashmir, Janab Omar Abdullah Sahib, I have no word to express gratitude to you for your all-time help. I welcome Honorable Union Minister of New and Renewable Energy, Janab Farooq Abdullah Ji Sahib, who had been very keen in finding out what the programs are, how it is to be arranged, and it was a great challenge which I accepted. For the first time, this Science Congress was held in Jammu and Kashmir. It's a 101st session. Earlier, it was never arranged in this very state. I'm extremely obliged to Professor MPS Ishar for helping me in organizing this very Science Congress. The council members and members of the executive of the Science Congress are welcome over here, under whose guidance we have been able to arrange this very Science Congress. We know that science and technology in India has been a key instrument in bringing about social economic change in its vast geographical spread. Indian science has come to be regarded as one of the most potent instruments of growth and development, especially among the emerging and competitive economies. Every person in India who lived through the last decade can experimentally visualize a more technologically advanced future for himself in times to come. For any country to march ahead in all sections and in all streams, its growth agenda has to be inclusive. If any state of society are left behind, and then this becomes a restraining factor in the engines of growth. Inclusive innovation, which aims at reducing gaps in socioeconomic status between different segments of the society, especially in the domains of health, educational opportunities, and nutritional requirements, can be an important instrument of social transformation and improved quality of life among the underprivileged sections. The process of innovation, which is basically a subset of strong R&D infrastructure with a strong union with invention and the creation of new products, processes, or technological advances through S&T. We have to craft a learning ecosystem for inclusive innovations. University research forms the foundation for many of the most significant technological advancements and industries in the society. There are several bottlenecks in promoting and nurturing innovations in the universities, yet many ideas are left on the shelves in the laboratories of universities. There is a small share of universities in R&D effort. As the Indian Science Congress 101st session comes to an end, let's pledge to keep alive the passion of its architects for truth that's eternal and beautiful, and have dreamed to lead India to greater heights of knowledge. I firmly believe that a beautiful society can be evolved with a good human being for self, for family, society, nation, and the whole world. And our country can be a shining and inspiring country, setting a right path for the rest of the world to follow, as we have leaders like our Honorable Vice President, who is a great educationist, academician, and refined bureaucrat. Sir, we are extremely obliged to you. The 101st session of Indian Science Congress had 24 parallel symposia, 16 special plenary lectures, and to inform the youngsters, these sessions were named after reputed scientists, special lectures by 2 Nobel Laureates, 400 invited scientists from India and abroad, special 6 sessions, particular Women's Science Congress, Science Communication, and Children's Science Congress were the highlights of this very Science Congress. Sir, Children's Science Congress was really a great success, as Dr. Abdul J. Kalam inaugurated that Science Congress, and the hall was so full, overcrowded, that this shows the interest of or inquisitiveness of the young minds for the scientific development. For the first time in the history of Indian Science Congress, we had brought grassroots innovators from the whole country under the umbrella of Innovator Expo. Sir, innovations are not done in the laboratories only, in the universities only. Innovations are there in the villages, in the grassroots workers. So we brought them under one umbrella, Innovators Expo. It's for the first time it has been done. It was to follow Honorable Prime Minister's policy in science and technology innovations unveiled last year on 3rd of January. Sir, what has come out of the deliberation in all these sessions, that India is young and has great potential to become a force to reckon with in science and technology for the overall development of humanity, not only this country, of the globe. The islands of excellence, as manifested by the IITs, CSIR labs, AIMs, and other top such institutions, need to work in tandem and integrate their infrastructural, technical, and intellectual capabilities in a symbiotic and structured manner to focus on a high priority research, having potential for mass benefits like potable drinking water, sanitation, spread of education, etc., and we have taken care of all of these. Some of the key questions to which we have to find answers. 1, potential breakthrough innovations arising from academic research, what works and what does not. Need for paradigm shift in higher education and challenges before universities to achieve excellence in the era of globalization. Exploring links between innovation and entrepreneurship. developing and leveraging synergies for pervasive growth, creating innovation groups within the university. Some bottlenecks are there, but Baba Saheb Ambedkar University Lucknow was the first one to create Innovators Club and have Innovators Exhibition. Education infrastructure and R&D through joint efforts, role of technology business incubators. Not only of these, there's a need to identify and nurture grassroots innovators in the rural areas. Our university system, as well as the institution system, has to put special emphasis on the following aspects of innovation and entrepreneurship. How to allow universities and public labs to commercialize R&D and provide part of supplementary income to professors and researchers. How to develop competitive matching grant fund for research by the universities. How to upgrade virtual research network infrastructure. How to increase supply of high-quality scientists and engineers. How to provide matching funds for collaborative projects involving at least 2 types of partners. And we have started a cluster system at the BBIU Lucknow, which I started at Punjab University in Chandigarh. How to facilitate mobility of scientific and technical personnel. How to facilitate private sectors to set up quality higher-level institutions with adequate controls. How to strengthen university industry programs through matching grants and other initiatives, the matter which was discussed at length yesterday at a meeting with the Honorable President of India of the Central University Vice Chancellors. How to strengthen support for grassroots innovations and make stronger efforts to use formal innovation system to improve the conditions of the poor. And most of all, important of all, we need to harness innovations as a sustainable source of value creation in our country. As the Indian Science Congress crosses another milestone, let's pledge again to keep alive the passion of the architects for truth. And that is what we have to think. Sir, it is after a long time we have compiled a volume. It used to be there every session that they used to compile a volume on the theme of the Congress, but we compiled after a long time that India, culture of science, glorious past and bright future, because our scientific history is 8,000 years old. And that was released by Honorable Prime Minister. Then there's another volume, sir, because in the era of science and technology, there has been a biopsychological impact on all of us, and we have compiled another volume, which we are going to request you to release after this, sir. Sir, I again welcome you all, and thank you for accepting my request to address the gathering at the valedictory function. Sir, on His Excellency, Shri N.N. Vora ji, Janab Abdullah ji, and Honorable Farooq Abdullah ji, I am extremely obliged to you for accepting our request to hold this Science Congress at Jammu and Kashmir and at the University of Jammu. Thanks to you all, sir, and thanks to you, all the participants who have come over here and taken active part in the deliberations of the Science Congress, and which will be, the recommendation of these will be sent to the Government of India for proper implementation in the times to come. Thank you very much. Jai Hind.
Thank you, Dr. Sobti. May I now request Dr. Farooq Abdullah, Honorable Union Minister for New and Renewable Energy, to address the gathering, please.
Honorable Vice President of India, Hamid Ansari Sahib, His Excellency, the Governor of Jammu and Kashmir, Janab Vora Sahib, Chief Minister of Jammu and Kashmir, Mr. Amr Abdullah Sahib, Vice Chancellor of Jammu University and other dignitaries at the stage, ladies and gentlemen. It's been a great honor for the University of Jammu to be able to stage 101 Science Congress here. It's been a great success. I've been looking at some of the papers that have been read here, are very informative. I think it will certainly help people in this world from seeing what India has achieved. India has a long way to go. We have many miles to cross as yet. And I'm confident if we continue the work as we have done now, we will succeed in it. My congratulations to all who organized this conference and to the Vice President of India to having found time to come on the valedictory function. My congratulations to everyone who read his papers and came to this city. I hope many of you must have had the privilege of visiting Mata Vaishno Devi Shrine and not only prayed for yourself, but also prayed for this nation. This nation needs all your prayers and all your work, and I hope we will one day, inshallah, succeed in achieving the glory that India has to achieve. Thank you again for this.
Thank you, sir. May I now request Janab Omar Abdullah, Honorable Chief Minister of Jammu and Kashmir State and the Pro-Chancellor of the University of Jammu, to address the august gathering.
Honorable Vice President of India, Janab Muhammad Hamid Ansari Sahab, Honorable Governor of Jammu and Kashmir, Janab N.N. Vohra Sahab, Honorable Minister for New and Renewable Energy, Dr. Farooq Abdullah Sahab, General President ISCA, Dr. R.C. Sopti Sahab, Vice Chancellor, Jammu University, Professor M.P.S. Ishar Sahab, dignitaries on the dais, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I will begin with a light-hearted confession. I have never in my life heard my father make such a short speech at such a large gathering. Which is why you would have seen that I was struggling to get my cards in order, because when he was called to speak before me, I allowed myself about 15 minutes to get my thoughts assembled, and he finished in less than 5. So please bear with me while I try and make up for the less than optimum time that I had allowed myself. Science, technology, and innovation for inclusive growth was the subject that the 101st Indian Science Congress set for itself. And in today's day and age, when everyone is talking about reaching out to the fabled Aam Aadmi and trying to ensure that all benefits percolate to as many people as possible, the Science Congress could not have chosen a more topical subject to discuss. I hope that when Dr. Sopti Saab and the members that he works with circulate the recommendations and the findings and the papers that have been done and presented to the 101st Science Congress, I noted that he mentioned that they will be sent to the Government of India. I would also recommend that you send them to all the states of the Union as well, because all of us, I'm sure, will have lots to learn from all the distinguished dignitaries and scientists that have had the opportunity to present papers at this August gathering. Science, technology, innovation for inclusive growth necessarily means that we take the benefits of science and technology, research, and make them more widely available. It means that we take what is essentially a theoretical exercise and give it a practical shape. What we need to do is to look at what we are doing in the laboratories, not so much from the point of view of what a paper this will produce or what sort of recognition this will get from amongst our own peers within the scientific community, but how the benefits of this research can be taken to a wider audience and include more and more people. Speaking with the limited sort of outlook of the state of Jammu and Kashmir, I can think of a few areas where further research and development, further scientific sort of study can lead to developments that will allow us more inclusive growth. Jammu and Kashmir is still a state very heavily dependent on agriculture and horticulture for the livelihoods of a very large number of people. We still have a state with about 60, more than 60, almost 70% of our population in rural areas. While our economy has moved from an economy primarily dependent on the primary sector to a large and growing tertiary sector, we can still not rule out or remove completely our dependence on agriculture. As climate patterns change, with global warming becoming more of a reality than we would like, clearly there is a need for us to learn how best to manage this climate change, how best to boost agricultural growth in those areas where agriculture is not fed by irrigation. We have large parts of the state where agriculture is still rain-fed agriculture. And clearly, this is an area open and sort of ripe with potential for science to help us with more inclusive growth. High-altitude agriculture in rain-deficit areas like Ladakh and Kargil. What can we do to boost agriculture in these areas? Post-harvest management in our horticulture sector. There is this misconception that horticulture is limited only to Kashmir Valley, which is not true. Scratch the surface in Jammu or in Ladakh, and you will find horticulture activity taking place there. What can we do for greater efficiency in post-harvest management in the horticulture sector is another area open for greater research for inclusive growth. An area that concerns us all is solid waste disposal, an area that I have been talking about to various scientists that I have come into contact with, particularly from the IIIM and others who participate in the Scientific Advisory Committee to the state government, has been an area of biomass energy from the waste that we generate from the Dal Lake. We collect tons and tons of weed from the Dal Lake that we have no reasonably useful method of disposal. So therein again is another avenue open to scientific research that will allow us more inclusive growth. And obviously an area of maximum concern, which again Dr. Sopti touched upon, which is how do we spread the benefits, or how do we take better healthcare, better education, better nutrition to a wider range of population that does not have easy access to physical infrastructure in these sort of areas. So these are sort of practical problems that we face, for which we look towards the scientific community for reasonable solutions that can be implemented within a reasonable cost frame. It has taken 101 years for the Science Congress to travel to Jammu and Kashmir. I, for one, hope that it doesn't take another 100 years for the Science Congress to return, which is not to suggest that I'm asking you to come back next year itself. I think it'll take us a few years to recover from this one. But we do hope that the Indian Science Congress Association and others will give us the opportunity within my lifetime, which is why I'm saying I don't want to wait another 100 years, within my lifetime at least, to host another edition of the Indian Science Congress. I would like to join the Vice-Chancellor in apologizing for any shortcomings that may have been there in our arrangements. I hope the warmth of our hospitality has made up for any shortcomings that may have been there. I, for one, am not disappointed that this Science Congress started with the rain and ended with the rain, because rain is considered a blessing from the gods. Rain is vital for our agriculture, and honestly, if it hadn't rained, I would have thought this lovely tent that we have put up would have been a complete waste of money. So I'm actually glad it has rained, and we've got to put it to good use. So for all of you that have participated in this Science Congress, may I thank you from the bottom of my heart on behalf of myself and my entire state for being here. I'd like to wish you all a safe journey home, and I hope to see you all again sometime soon. Thank you all very much.
Thank you, sir. Now, may I have the honor of requesting Shri N.N. Vora, Honorable Governor of Jammu and Kashmir State and Chancellor of the University of Jammu, to deliver his address, please.
Honorable Vice President of India, Janab Ansari Sahib, Chief Minister Umar Abdullah Sahib, distinguished Union Minister for Non-Conventional Renewable Energy Resources, Dr. Farooq Abdullah Sahib, Professor Sobti, Professor Isher, distinguished dignitaries on the dais, eminent scientists, participants in the Science Congress, members of the faculty, students, all the other invited personalities and guests, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to join Chief Minister Umar Abdullah in rejoicing on the successful conclusion of this 5-day Congress, which attracted several thousand scientists, including teachers, researchers, students, to participate in various events in the last several days. When the intimation first came to us that the Indian Science Congress Association had decided to organize the 101st session of the Congress in Jammu University, Chief Minister Umar Abdullah and I had a joint meeting with the Vice Chancellors. And at that time, the CM was very doubtful whether, with the facilities available in Jammu, number of hotels, rooms, etc., we would be able to accommodate such a large gathering. And among other things, whether we'll be able to bear the expenses. We had serious doubts, but as you see for yourself, the Congress has come to a conclusion. It has been organized very well, and as both the Vice Chancellor and even the CM Saab said, that if there have been gaps here and there, we are all sorry for that and regret them, but I'm sure that within the resources available, our university people, our faculty, the students of the university, the representatives of the state government who are fully involved, very closely involved with the organization of the Congress, all the senior officers that the Vice Chancellor referred to have been helping us day in and day out, and this great mega science event has come to a successful conclusion. I would not take much time on speaking about the subject of the very important and relevant subject of this Congress. But I do feel that in terms of the real problems that face us today, day to day, not only in J&K but many other parts of the country, the underdeveloped parts, the rural areas, the remote areas, distant regions which are not connected, the areas where the disadvantaged pockets of our population live, economically disadvantaged, socially neglected. Science and technology can play extremely vital role. Application of science and technology. And that is why this subject is enormously relevant. Innovations within the arena of science and technology to do all the various things which require to be done for inclusive growth, which is the crying need of the time and the day. And I'm sure that the discussions, the lectures, the panel discussion, the symposia in the last few days would have generated many new ideas of new approaches, revised approaches to tackling various problems that we have still not been able to do. Now, amongst the many things that we need to worry about when we talk of science and technology is poverty alleviation, hunger, need for shelters, need for safe water supply, need for food, first and foremost, when we talk of poverty alleviation. And one of the papers which I saw the other day refers to the statistics of food requirements by the middle of the century. By 2050, we shall require double the quantity of food that we produce today. So we need a second green revolution. We need to look at the productivity and production of all our rain-fed and arid areas. We need to do very many things, particularly in the context of global warming, climate change, and so on, which are particularly affecting the state of Jammu and Kashmir. I happened to participate in a symposia or part of this Congress yesterday, this Science Congress, and 2 vice-chancellors and 4 scientists, 2 of whom are heads of important science and research institutions in the state. They spoke very knowledgeably what are the problems and what are the prospects. And I dare say I join voice with the Chief Minister Abdullah that we need to very closely look at some of the good ideas which emanated from this Congress and see what can be done in quick time. Now, amongst applications and innovations, I would say we don't need the state-of-the-art, top-of-the-shelf technologies. We need ready-to-use, ruggedized equipment, system technologies, which are easy to repair, easy to maintain, which can enable our farmers, our growers, our producers to be able to enlarge and increase their productivity, increase their incomes, increase their wealth, and lead better lives. Insofar as innovation is concerned, I think it bears mention that our scientists, our planners, our thinkers in Delhi, the various concerned ministries, recognized several years ago that we need to focus very sharply on encouraging innovations in every arena of activity and endeavor. And it is for this reason that the central authorities, particularly the science and technology people, declared 2010-20 as the decade of innovation, the innovation decade. So we are somewhere in the middle of it now in 2014. And I'm sure that all our universities in the state, all our scientific and technological institutions in the state, if all our scientists, including particularly agriculture scientists, they join hands, work closely together, pool their resources, I'm sure that many solutions can be found and many new approaches can be established which will add to the productivity of the state and resolve many problems. In the last few days, we had a Women's Science Congress, we had Rural Innovators Exhibition, we had the Science Communicators Meet, we had Children's Science Congress, and so on. And I feel that considering the number of students who were able to attend and participate in various sessions of the Congress, that many of them would have benefited. They heard some very senior, reputed, respected scientists speak and lecture at the Congress. Some of them would be inspired to follow in their footsteps. Some of them would be inspired to work hard and do certain things, to innovate, to generate new ideas and new innovative approaches. To conclude, I would particularly like to congratulate Vice Chancellor Manmohan Singh and all the members of his faculty. And particularly those who were assisting him in the organization of this very large event. And I'd particularly like to thank Chief Minister Omar Abdullah and all the senior officers who have worked very closely with the university the last 3-4 weeks to fill up all the gaps, to render help, even financial support to a very large extent, to see that things were done the way they should have been done. And I'm very happy to say that the organization has passed off very well. And conclusively, my compliments to Professor Sopti and all his associates from the Indian Science Congress Association who collaborated, worked very closely with our Vice Chancellor to see that the various bits and pieces of this Congress, they were put in place and everything went off according to plan. And conclusively, I would particularly thank Honorable Vice President of India. It is a privilege for us in J&K, privilege for this university, that he has found the time in the midst of a busy parliamentary session to leave Delhi and be with us here today. Thank you, sir.
And now for the presentation of the awards, may I request our chief guest for the event, Shri Hamid Ansari, Honorable Vice President of India, to present the awards. I request Dr. Amit Krishna De, Executive Secretary, to announce the Young Scientist and the Best Poster Awards.
It's a privilege to announce the name of Young Scientist awardees for 2013-14. And as you know, Young Scientist awardees get 25,000 rupees cash and a certificate. I would like to announce the names one by one. First, for Agriculture and Forestry Sciences, Kutubuddin Ali Molla, Department of Botany, University of Calcutta, Kolkata. Anthropology and Behavioral Sciences, including Archaeology and Physiology, Educational Sciences and Military Sciences section, Prerna Basin of the Department of Anthropology, University of Delhi, Delhi. We have Art Science System Sciences, Rimjim Bhatnagar Singh, Space Application Center, ISRO, Ahmedabad. From Environmental Sciences section, Divya Pandey, Department of Botany, Banaras Hindu University, Varanasi. From Information and Communication Science and Technology, including Computer Sciences, Malay Bhattacharya, Department of CSE, University of Kolani, Noida. Material Science section, Dr. Rohit R. Sahi, Department of Physics, BHU, Varanasi. Mathematical Sciences, including Statistics, R. Vishnu Vardhan, Department of Statistics, Pondicherry University, Kalapet, Puducherry. Medical Sciences, including Physiology, Binapani Mahaling, Department of BSBE, IIT Kanpur, Kanpur. New Biology section, including Biochemistry, Biophysics and Molecular Biology and Biotechnology, Vishal Acharya, CSR, IHBT, Palampur, Himachal Pradesh. Physical Sciences, Mohit Kumar Sharma, School of Studies in Physics, Jivaji University, Gwalior. Now we have Best Poster Awards for the sections, and it consists of 5,000 rupees cash and a certificate. For agriculture and forestry sciences, it is Rajendra Lakpale, Indira Gandhi Krishi Vidyalaya, Raipur. Then anthropology and behavioral sciences, we have 2 awardees, Vijeta Chaudhary, University of Delhi, and Gaurav K. Rai, BHU, Varanasi. Chemical sciences section, we have 2 awardees, Dibakar Chandra Deka of Guwahati University, Guwahati, and Shah Raj Ali of Kumaun University, Nainital. Information and Communication Science and Technology, Bhupati D of Bharatiya University, Coimbatore, Tamil Nadu. Mathematical Science section, we have Rakesh K. Tripathi of Government Holkar Science College, Indore, and Reena Kumari, Indian School of Mines, Dhanbad. Medical Sciences, including Physiology section, Shushmita Sheel, University of Calcutta, Kolkata. Physical Sciences section, Anand Kumar Srivastav of Birla Institute of Technology, Mesra, Jaipur. Plant Sciences section, 2 awardees, Geeta Sharma, University of Jammu, Jammu, Onuja Koel of Sri Mata Vaishno Devi University, Katra. Thank you.
Next we have the presentation of mementos to the office bearers of the 101st Indian Science Congress 2014. Engineer N.B. Basu. Dr. Arun Kumar. Dr. Dhyanendra Kumar. Dr. Vijayalakshmi Saxena. Dr. Amit Krishnade. Dr. A.K. Pandey. May I request to present the mementos to the officials of the host university from the University of Jammu, sir. First, Professor M.P.S. Ishar, Vice Chancellor, University of Jammu. Professor Manoj Dhar, Registrar, University of Jammu. Professor Naresh Padha, Local Secretary, 101st Indian Science Congress.
Professor Meena Sharma, Local Secretary. Dr. Jitendra Khajuria, Finance Secretary.
Now may I request Shri Hamid Ansari, Honorable Vice President of India, to release the book entitled Contemporary Biopsychological Aspects in the Era of Science and Technology, authored by Professor R.C. Sobti. I invite Dr. Jitendra Mohan, Dr. Meena Sehgal, and Dr. Vipin Sobti to join on the dais. Dr. Jitendra Mohan and Dr. Meena Sehgal, please. It is my proud privilege to request our chief guest for the event, Shri M. Hamid Ansari, Honorable Vice President of India, to address the gathering, please.
The Honorable Governor of Jammu and Kashmir, Janab N.N. Bora Sahab, Honorable Chief Minister, Janab Farooq Abdullah Sahab, Professor Sopti, Professor Nimse, Professor Ishar, distinguished guests on the dais, this hall full of scientists, ladies and gentlemen. I'm happy to be here today amongst distinguished scientists, researchers, and scholars gathered for the 101st session of the Indian Science Congress. Over a century ago, the Indian Science Congress Association was conceived to stimulate scientific research and advance and promote the cause of science in India. Today, this annual congregation has emerged as the country's premier conclave in the field of science and technology. The theme of this year's conference is Innovation in Science and Technology for Inclusive Development. This is unquestionably an important challenge on our agenda and political domination. This positive aspect was reflected in one of Nehru's early pronouncements, and I quote, "It is science alone that can solve the problems of hunger and poverty, of insanitation and illiteracy, of superstition and deadening custom and tradition, of vast resources running to waste, of a rich country inhabited by starving people. The future belongs to science and those who make friends with science." End of quote. This was sought to be given a concrete shape through the Science Policy Resolution of 1958 and in all subsequent policy pronouncements. Given the multifaceted and symbiotic relationship between society and science and the critical role the latter plays in the development of the former, our day on the social and ethical aspects of science and technology and its impact on society. Ladies and gentlemen, the influence of science on people's lives is growing every day. While recent benefits to humanity from science, technology, and innovation are unparalleled in the history of the human species, there are instances where the impact has been harmful or the long-term effect give cause to serious concerns. Since the dawn of modern industrial age, science has been used mainly as a potent instrument for expansion of the frontiers of economic growth and the military power of some segments of humanity, especially in the developed world. This single-minded pursuit of economic growth at all costs has imposed major environmental costs on our fragile planet. It is clear that the current pattern of consumption of natural resources and increasing stresses on environment cannot continue indefinitely without breakdown of the natural systems that make human existence possible. The development of sophisticated weapons of mass destruction based on scientific knowledge has threatened the very existence of mankind at least a few times in the last century. Weapons created by science have also imposed painful costs on nation-states during the several wars fought since the advent of the 20th century. The destructive power of these weapons still poses a clear and present danger to humanity. Scientists who contributed to bringing about this situation have a responsibility as citizens to help societies make a changeover from an obsession with economic growth at any cost to achievement of a sustainable environment and an ever-growing economic system. They also have a responsibility to mitigate, if not eliminate, the threats posed by excessive weaponization of our planet. Modern scientific research and development in areas such as genetics, biotechnology, neuroscience, nuclear physics, space technology, and information technology have transformed our world as never before. However, they also carry with them considerable social and ethical implications which must be addressed. Possibilities of man-made disasters due to nuclear or space technologies, medical biotechnology, violation of privacy, impact of social media networks, and the other threats emanating from new developments in information and communication technology are some of the other issues that require serious and careful consideration. Gandhiji had listed science without humanity as one of the 7 deadly sins. Scientists, therefore, have an onerous responsibility towards society and their fellow beings. They must distinguish between socially beneficial and socially harmful applications of their research and innovation. Such introspection by the scientists themselves would be essential in order to undertake an objective cost-benefit analysis of their scientific outputs so that the outcome of their work is a balanced, sustainable, win-win proposition to society. Scientists also have to guard against the phenomena of rampant commercialization that has afflicted societies in epidemic proportions. The assumption that gaining of scientific knowledge must lead automatically to commercial exploitation of that knowledge for profit is morally dubious. Larger public good must prevail over individual and purely commercial interests, especially in areas such as food, energy, water, and other basic human needs. Excessive commercialization also runs a serious task that the benefits of scientific research and technological innovation will be exploited in an unequal manner, mainly by the well-to-do, with little or no benefit accruing to the poor and needy. This inequality in access to new technologies and innovations could exist between different social strata of a society and between the countries of the developed North and developing South. Another troubling issue is that of public attitudes to science, which range from confidence and hope to lack of interest in scientific activities and even fear and mistrust. The mistrust is due to the feeling in common people that it is they who will sometimes end up being the ones to suffer from the cost of scientific innovation. These attitudes could be partially blamed on the incessant highlighting of industrial hazards and ethics by the media and interest groups. However, the main source of the problem lies in the fact that the scientists in their daily work are sometimes isolated from mainstream society, making it difficult for them to be clearly aware of public needs. The public is also unaware of the valuable services rendered by the scientific community towards their well-being. Scientists could, perhaps, increase communication and get more involved with the public, civil society, and policymakers to find and implement solutions to issues of public need and interest. They could also take into account important questions such as reconciling the profit motive with the common good, providing for contributions from and benefits to deprived and marginalized segments of society, justifying current costs to prevent cost or damage to future generations, reconciling social and ethical imperatives to purely scientific pursuits and short-term gains. Scientific advances are never in themselves a guarantee of social gain. Science has to be integrated with broader needs of society. Science also has to be cognizant of the social and ethical imperatives which are integral to our being human and the basis of our civilization. Blaise Pascal, the French philosopher and scientist, famously said, and I quote, "Knowledge of physical science will not console me for ignorance of morality in times of affliction, but knowledge of morality will always console me for ignorance of physical science," unquote. It is therefore up to the scientists and technologists who are individually and collectively responsible for the advancement of science and technology to use their knowledge and skills for greater public good while remaining rooted to the social and moral imperative of society. Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir. Now may I request Professor Manmohan Singh, Vice Chancellor of the University of Jammu, to present mementos to Shri M. Hamid Ansari, Honorable Vice President of India. To Shri N.N. Vora, Honorable Governor of Jammu and Kashmir State and the Chancellor of the University of Jammu. To Janab Umar Abdullah, Honorable Chief Minister of the Jammu and Kashmir State and Pro-Chancellor of the University of Jammu. To Dr. Farooq Abdullah, Honorable Union Minister for New and Renewable Energy. Thank you, sir. May I now request Dr. R.C. Sopti, General President of the 101st Indian Science Congress, to symbolically hand over the baton to the President-elect ISCA, Dr. S.B. Nimse. Thank you, sir. I request Professor S.B. Nimse, General President-elect for the 102nd Indian Science Congress 2015, to address.
Myself, Vice Chancellor, Lucknow University, Lucknow, and General President for 102nd Indian Science Congress, want to make one announcement. 102nd Indian Science Congress conference will be held during 3rd January to 7 January 2015 at University of Mumbai, Bombay. The focal theme for the Congress will be Science and Technology for Human Development. I, on behalf of, as a General President of Indian Science Congress and on behalf of Mumbai University, welcome one and all for 102nd Conference of Indian Science Congress. Thank you.
Now may I request Professor Naresh Pada, Local Secretary of the 101st Indian Science Congress 2014, to present the formal vote of thanks.
Janab Hamid Ansari, Honorable Vice President of India, Shri N.N. Bohra, Honorable Governor of Jammu and Kashmir and Chancellor University of Jammu, Janab Umar Abdullah, Honorable Chief Minister of J&K State and Pro-Chancellor University of Jammu, Dr. Farooq Abdullah, Honorable Union Minister of New and Renewable Energy, Government of India, Professor R.C. Sobti, General President, Indian Science Congress Association, Professor M.P.S. Ishar, Vice Chancellor University of Jammu, Professor S.B. Nimse, President, recently elected President, Indian Science Congress Association, Engineer N.B. Basu, General Secretary, Membership Affairs, Indian Science Congress Association, Dr. Amit Krishna Dey, General Secretary, Academic Affairs, Indian Science Congress Association, and Professor Meena Sharma, Local Secretary, Indian Science Congress 14. Distinguished guests present in the hall, I have been given the pleasant duty to deliver formal vote of thanks on the valedictory function of 101st Indian Science Congress. First of all, I express my deep gratitude to the chief guest of the function, Janab Hamid Ansari, Honorable Vice President of the country, for sparing his valuable time to be with us for the valedictory function of 101st session of the Indian Science Congress in Jammu. Ladies and gentlemen, I feel proud to say that the University of Jammu has created history by organizing an event of such a magnitude. The 101st session of the Indian Science Congress was inaugurated by Honorable Prime Minister of India, Dr. Manmohan Singh, who set the stage and tone of the session rolling for his inaugural address. We were indeed honored by his presence. The other programs of the Congress, the Children's Science Congress, Women's Science Congress, Science Exhibition, Science Communicators Meet, saw inaugurations by Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, former President of India, Dr. Farooq Abdullah, Honorable Minister for New and Renewable Energy, Dr. Shri N.N. Bohra, Honorable Governor Jammu and Kashmir. We at the University of Jammu are humbled by their gracious presence, support and advice. It was a big challenge, however, was met due to collective efforts of all in the university with a very dynamic support of the state government. We express our heartiest gratitude to Shri N.N. Bohra ji, Honorable Governor, J&K State and Chancellor of the University for his continuous patronage and guidance ever since the University was given the responsibility for holding this session. We are deeply obliged to the state government under the dynamic leadership of Janab Umar Abdullah, Honorable Chief Minister of the state and Pro-Chancellor of the University for rendering full support to organize this mega event. The organizing committee of the Indian Science Congress expresses its gratitude to the galaxy of eminent scientists and academicians, including Nobel Laureates, foreign invitees, directors, heads of various science and technology institutions, vice-chancellors, directors of various institutions who have come all the way and shared their experience with the delegates particularly the young researchers and innovators. I thank each of you, sir. I also express my thanks to all the delegates and student members who participated in the Science Congress and presented their work. I congratulate those who have been awarded for their outstanding performance. The organizations such as DRDO, ISRO, DAE, ICMR, ICAR, and Bill Gates Foundation deserve special appreciation for organizing public interaction programs which have benefited a large number of delegates as well as the students. The organizing committee also expresses its gratitude to the presidents of various sectionals, local sectional secretaries, recorders, and reporters who have put in their best efforts to evaluate the presentations. The university is extremely thankful to its sponsors, and let me single out the J&K State Government, University Grants Commission, MHRD, DST, DRDO, ICMR, DBT, Jammu and Kashmir Bank, Power Grid Corporation, and other organizations for rendering financial support, without which we could not have organized this Congress. Thanks are also due to the organizations which have funded through advertisements in the souvenir of the Indian Science Congress. We are indebted to the office bearers, executive and council members, conveners of various chapters of Indian Science Congress Association who partnered with us and worked in tandem during the last 7 days and facilitated the holding of the Congress. Thanks are also due to Messrs. K&D Ahmedabad, the event manager of the Science Exhibition Expo 2020, to demonstrate a magnificent show of scientific developments and innovations. There are sufficient reasons to underline the kind support and cooperation rendered by the nodal officers appointed by the state government for the Indian Science Congress, Shri B.R. Sharma, Principal Secretary, Planning and Development, J&K State, and Shri Shant Manu, Divisional Commissioner, Jammu. Sir, your consideration and special attention to details and micro details made things easier for us for the smooth conduct of the event. Thank you, sir. Thanks are also due to Shri Iqbal Khande, Chief Secretary, J&K Government, Shri B.V. Vyas, Principal Secretary, Honorable Chief Minister and Financial Advisor to the University, Principal Secretary, PDD, Commission Secretary, PWD, for extending us all the support. I'm also thankful to Ms. Rehana, Additional Commissioner, taking that much of trouble throughout the event. Special thanks are also due to Shri Naveen K. Chaudhary, Principal Secretary, Honorable Governor, and Honorable Governors, Honorable Chancellor Secretariat for their continuous support, guidance, and cooperation. The University of Jammu is also thankful to Shri Ashok Prasad, Director General of Police, Shri V.K. Singh, Additional DGP, Shri Munir Khan, IGP Traffic, Shri Rajesh Kumar, IGP Jammu, for their cooperation and support, and time-to-time interventions for making it a smooth and hassle-free event. We are extremely thankful to Shri M.K. Bhandari, Chief Executive Officer, Shri Mata Vaishno Devi Shrine Board, for his generous support in sponsoring today's cultural program and to provide accommodation to the delegates in the Saraswati and Vaishnavi Dhams. I am also thankful to private affiliated colleges of the university for providing us the support and hostel facilities. I also extend my thanks to Director Hospitality and Protocol, Director Tourism, Transport Commissioner, Commissioner JMC, Director Information, and Director State Border Garage for full support in organizing ISC 2014. Thanks are also due to the Indian Army for constructing 2 pontoon bridges in the campus. I cannot thank enough to the Vice Chancellor, University of Jammu, Professor Manmohan Singh Ishar, who provided all support and reposed faith in me and Professor Meena Sharma for this job. Thank you very much, sir. Without your guidance and help, we would not have been able to take a step ahead. I thank all the members of the organizing committee and the Registrar, Professor Manoj Dar, Dr. Jitendra Khajuria, Finance Secretary, ISC 14, and Shri Jaikumar Sharma, Special Secretary to Vice Chancellor, University of Jammu, for offering all assistance and facilitation. Thanks are also due to the conveners of Children's Science Congress, Women's Science Congress, Science Communicators Meet, Science Exhibition, and Rural Innovators Exhibition to make the event successful. More than 30 different committees were constituted by the university for meeting the different requirements of ISC 14 I thank conveners, members and volunteers of all the committees who have worked long hours to make this event a grand success. In all fairness, I want to acknowledge the contribution of the staff on deputation for the Science Congress who worked tirelessly round the clock for making the event successful. I express special thanks to Dr. Daud Iqbal Baba for taking care of the accommodation and Mr. Amit Turgotra for personally assisting me. I express my deep gratitude to the print and electronic media from within the state and the country for the efforts they have taken for coverage of different events of the Science Congress. I also extend my gratitude to the prominent citizens, business forums and organizations and industries which supported the university in one or the other way and facilitated the participants. I'm also thankful to all those whom I might have missed to mention here who contributed directly or indirectly to make the event successful. In the end, it's time to extend farewell to Professor R.C. Sopti and best wishes to the new Journal President, Professor S.P. Nimse. I also congratulate Professor A.K. Saxena for being elected Journal President for the year 15-16. See you all in the 102nd session of the Indian Science Congress at Mumbai in January 15. Thank you. Jai Hind.
With this, we are concluding the proceedings for the valedictory function in the 101st Indian Science Congress. Let's all rise, please, for our national anthem. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.